Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So today there is a new Dorico update. So now we are at 6.2.3, and this is another maintenance update for Dorico, specifically having to do with the Cantai voice synthesizer. Now, if you've been using the voice synthesizer on Cantai and Dorico, this is definitely worth the update. If you're not using it, it is a small maintenance update, and it does add a couple of new little features, specifically with glissandi lines and other things. So if you are running Dorico, it is a worthwhile update, but let me show you a couple of the new features, especially if you're using the Cantai voice instrument. So 6.2.3 gave us some more integration with the Cantai voice instrument. And as it says here on the website, it says, following the introduction of 6.22, which gave total integration with Cantai, this update adds support for independent voice playback using Cantai. So what does this mean? Well, that means if you have a voice 1 and a voice 2 in, say, a soprano part, it can actually play back both of those voices independently, so you don't have to make additional staves, which is kind of the way we notate vocal music most of the time when you have a soprano 1 and a soprano 2 part. So this is a really big time saver for you. If you use the Cantai playback template, Dorico will automatically assign the correct number of Cantai instances for you, so you'll be able to jump right into your playback, and it also features a few just little bug fixes for you. So it works really well, and it's a great update for Cantai and Dorico. Another big feature is now we can customize our glissando lines in Dorico. So now we have the option to have the wiggly line that we're used to, or we can actually do a different line style and assign it to the glissando. So that's just a really nice upgrade feature that allows us to customize our music just that much more. There's also some new support for exporting from Music XML, which will help you deal with moving your Dorico project from one system to another, always a welcome plus. As well as there are some workflow improvements having to do with setting a default output volume. Now you can actually literally set a number rather than just using the slider, and there's new engraving options for dealing with the circa number in a tempo block, so that you can say circa 100 instead of exactly 100. There's also just a few fixes having to do with dynamics editing, guitar bends and harmonics, repeat structures, engrave mode workflows in your project, MIDI export, mixer synchronization when muting and unmuting, percussion kit handling in the play mode, user interface consistency, so just making everything look a little better, and then some localized improvements for different languages. So all in all, it's definitely a worthwhile upgrade. You're not going to see anything major, but if it keeps your project from crashing or keeps things working more smoothly, it's definitely a plus. Okay, so let me show you how to import the Cantai playback template so that you can use this in Dorico with this update to 6.2.3. So if you haven't already done this, in your project, what you're going to do is you're going to go under the Play menu, and you're going to go down to Playback Templates. From here, we're going to go ahead and hit Import. Now, I've left a link in my description of this video on how to get to the playback template. It came from the Dorico blog when they did their announcement of the update to 6.2.2, and the link is still good. So you can click on it, and then from here, we're going to open it. And you'll see it now has added this to our playback templates. And I'm going to go ahead and hit Apply and Close so that it will auto-assign Cantai to my project. Once it's done thinking, we can go to the Play tab, and you'll see that each one of these is given a separate Cantai instance. So you can see we have soprano, soprano 2, we have an alto, we have a tenor, and we have a bass. And if we click on the little E, you can see that it assigned a bass voice, and then also on the tenor, we can see that it assigned a tenor voice. For alto, we can see that it grabbed this alto voice. And then for our sopranos, it got the same voice as our alto, but it did choose between a female type voice and a male type voice. From here, as long as it has rendered, we can hit play. Now you can hear I have a whole lot of reverb set on there in my Dorico settings, but this gives me quick instant feedback. So remember, when it comes to Cantai, we can do on-demand edits. So if I want to make this first note much, much longer, I can go ahead and move it over in the bar and stretch it out to, say, a whole note. And after it has done its rendering process, I am ready to hit play and we'll hear appropriate playback. And remember, you can change the automatically assigned voices by Dorico to whatever voice type you want. So if you go under the Play tab, and then you click on the voice you want to change, you can click on the E, and then you can choose a new voice from the category. So if you want to try Elsa, you can go ahead and select that. And again, it will re-render and give you a new rendition of the song with the different voice. Now, not all voices sing in the same sort of style, so you'll want to experiment with the voices to see which one matches your composition the best. So that about wraps it up for Dorico 6.2.3. So check out some of my other videos here in the channel and watch for the update here in the studio. I promise it always won't look this messy. It's going to look pretty darn awesome once I get the acoustic treatments on the wall. But until then, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.